Qu'est-ce que je vais te nommer?
What's up, everybody? You hear that?
Je vais te nommer.
That's the sound of
L'amour.
G Fuel peach rings flavored. Let's see what it tastes like.
L'amour qui chante doucement.
Okay, this one's a lot better than
dans mon cœur.
the last one I had, the Tetris
L'amour
flavored
qui
one.
danse lentement.
I finally changed my music. Now it's this some kind of
À la raison.
I don't know, different language.
L'amour et moi,
I just spent like the last hour messing with all my stuff here, setting up my Wave XLR, which I got from El Gato. Thank you very much. And what else? Yeah, and setting up my stream deck some more. Switched my microphone out for one of my nicer ones. So yeah, that took forever. Sound takes a long time to figure out all the channels and everything, inputs and outputs and singing and singing. Right now, we are going to start watching episode 4 of The Rings of Power. And yeah, I don't remember anything from the last episode. I don't know what the kind of music this is. This is like some kind of... Let's turn the ocean sound up, that's better. I don't remember anything from the last episode, except I think the hobbits were about to migrate or something like that. Let's see what happens in this episode. So I actually don't even have loads. Okay, I have Lord of the Rings open. So let's just switch this up, go to full screen, and get right into it. I'm actually a little bit interested to see what's gonna happen. All right. That was gross. Oh yeah, that was the end. They were leaving the city, and then they were like, bring him to Adar. And so we don't know who Adar is, even though we do. He's a mysterious elf. Oh, she really wants to go to Middle Earth. All right, I've seen this intro. Hammer out. She just said, in this court, we come together to hammer out the details of our island's future. Hammer out? What kind of language is that? That is not, that's not Lord of the Rings terminology. Hammer out. Who wrote that? What does that mean the island needs a stretch? There's a giant rumbling like an earthquake. Damn. That would suck. That was a huge wave. I forgot who that girl was. Did we already see her? Arian? Oh yeah, at the end of the last episode, she came with the horse, and then the guy like went and hugged the horse instead of her, which was hilarious. It was great. All right, so these are new characters. Did we see this other guy in the last episode? This guy on the left, I don't remember, and I don't think we've seen this guy either. So they look new. So this is his kid, and this is some chancellor. Yeah, this is definitely it's not amazing, but it's way better than the Tetris flavored one, which just tasted like toxic plastic liquid. This one does taste like the actual peach rings that you'd buy at the store, like the gummy peach rings, you know? So they're all mad that, well, this guy's all mad that the elf's there, and because he got beat up, I guess, and so he's now pissed off or something. So he's like, elves taking our trades. So maybe he thinks that there's multiple elves there, even though there's just one. But okay, maybe they don't know. Maybe they saw one and they're like, oh, there's a bunch of elves here for some reason. But I don't know. They're trying to show that they all don't like elves. I don't think. Oh yeah, they did explain. Galadriel did explain the past where they were like, the elves left and we don't know why, or was it them that pushed the elves away? I think it was them, but they haven't explained it. I don't believe. He's trying to rile up the crowd in a different direction now and go, hey, why are y'all scared of one little elf? And he's like explaining different people and the I guess the lore, or at least the lore of this show, which I have no clue who he's talking about. Drinks all around. So I don't know why he came there to talk to the crowd. Was he just walking by and he came across them and were like, oh, it sounds like they're all getting mad at the elves, so I want to like maybe try to turn this around in a different direction, and I just happen to have some drinks nearby so that everybody's getting drinks. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, I don't know. It sounds like something that he had planned to do, but so maybe it was a planned event, and then he was like, I'm gonna be part of this event. I don't know. It was just it was such a short little speech, and the crowd is easily swayed. They were like, "Yeah, they're taking our jobs. The elves are all. There's a lot of elves here. They're all taking our work and jobs and stuff." That was like 5 seconds, and then 5 seconds later, he's like, "No, they're not. Why, we remember our history, and we're stronger than. We won't let them take our jobs." And then they're like, "Yeah." Like 5 seconds later, she welcomed her as a guest. Muriel was like, "You vex me. I welcomed you as a guest." But when she first got here, she was like, you could try to leave. So it was almost like she was trying to imprison her, not welcome her as a guest. But now she's like, "I welcome you as a guest." No, you didn't. You were like, "I welcome you to try leaving." The way Muriel looked at Elendil, the dude over here, when he spoke was like, "Shut up, you peasant." This stupid show. Like, all the women like look down on the men. It's so stupid. Gladriel's like, "Join me and fight." And I don't really get a good sense of what she's trying to fight against, right? Like, we keep hearing her talk to Mir, trying to get this, mentioning things about like gathering an army. And she was talking to Hallbrand and was like, "We will have an army soon." But what are they creating an army for? And what are they fighting? I mean, we've heard that like, oh, the orcs are coming or whatever. And we've so far only seen one orc attacking, and then that one town, and then elf dude with the perfect haircut was captured, and so there was a bunch of orcs there. But how does Galadriel know what's going on with the orcs? Did she get word that there were like... How does Galadriel know what's going on with the orcs? I'm trying to remember if there was like some word that got to her that was like, the orcs are assembling in mass on Middle Earth. Or does she just have a general idea that she needs to go to Middle Earth because she knows that the Southlands is where the orcs are, or where Sauron is? That's all we know so far, is like she saw the sigil thing. She saw the symbol, and she connected it with the Southland. She was like, "Oh, Sauron's over there." But how do we know that she knows there's a bunch of orcs there? Or I don't know. They haven't explained how Galadriel knows any of this information. Or I guess they did. They were like, this spy was there, and that's how they got that information at the library. But still, like, it seems like she doesn't have up-to-date information that's detailed. Like, a new spy, maybe within the past couple weeks or something, came and was like, "Oh yeah, there's like 20,000 orcs assembling in the Southlands." Then I can understand, okay, yeah, she should probably get an army. But instead, it was like a spy from who knows how long ago. It could have been a couple hundred years ago. Yeah, what authority do you have, Galadriel, other than your Karen authority? It's really true when people say she keeps demanding to speak to the manager. Because here she's like, "Okay, well, if I don't get my way with you, then I am gonna go to the real king and get my way with him." So stupid Galadriel, Karen of the Northern Armies.
Tempest in me. It's sweat.
So stupid. There's a tempest. We still don't know why there's a tempest in her. Why? Yeah, I would have put her in prison too, with a gag. I like that guy's voice, except when he's going, "Thus he is always right." Sounds so stupid. But he has a good voice. Again, he's like, who's calling his name? Are the mountains speaking? Idiot. The mountains are female. Uh-oh. Hold on. So he wasn't the one that the rope slipped. It was one of the other guys, right? Okay, he did do it on purpose. He was hearing some voice from the mountains calling his name, and he did it on purpose. So the trivia says the western shores of Numenor face the undying lands and are the absolute westernmost point of all mortal lands. Oh my... Wow. So Isildur wanted to quit because he wants to go to the west. Why does he want to go to the west of Numenor? He kind of looks like Data from Star Trek. They're a little over the top with the sound effects. He just stabbed this orc to like end his life, his misery. And when he stabbed him, it was like, but then when he pulled it out, it was like, That's not what. I mean, I never stabbed someone. Okay, but I would imagine if you stab someone and then the sound pulling it out is not going to be like anything. It's just going to be like, not like. Again with this pattern. Everybody in this show wears this pattern. It was on the elves wore it, right? Like one of them at least on one of their robes or something, and then the dwarves I believe had it, and now him. It's like either it means something or the costume designers were like, yeah, this pattern's pretty cool. I kind of want to put it on everything. I don't know. It doesn't make much sense that the whole world would be wearing one specific pattern for some reason. And he has this this armor. He's an elf that Galadriel was wearing, I believe, before when they were like up in the mountains searching for that one castle that was up in the ice mountains with all the like little embellishments in it. So I don't know. Do all elves wear that armor? Why? Is it a special kind of elf armor? Who knows? I don't know. There's all these different elements that like everyone on the planet uses or wears. Who was the? Oh, it was Ed. That warg is Ed from The Lion King. There's Ed. Yes, yes. He looks just like him. This Adar is saying he wants to become a god of some sort. And he wants to like recreate the world in some way. So I don't know if they're trying to imply that he's Sauron. Adar is letting Arondir go. Arondir had like a knife in his hand. He could have just killed him right there, but for some reason he didn't. Maybe because he was an elf. So he's probably like, I don't know if I want to kill this elf. Even though he looks evil, I don't know what's going on here. And so now Adar is letting him go to deliver a message to the people hiding at the tower. So I guess he knows that this village is now going and hiding at the tower. And she just said there was every village from here to somewhere else. So there's multiple villages here. It seems like it's not that big of a place. It's like one little tower, and yet there's multiple villages here. Like, how many people are in each village? 5? He was like, this is the rest of the food. There's like 5 potatoes. And she's like, we have to cut rations. Yeah, there's like, hundreds of people there, and there's 5 potatoes. Of course you have to cut rations. Everybody can only have 1 crumb. So, I mean, if she's a great leader and everything, all right, fine. But so far, we haven't gotten the idea that she is. We just know that she is like an herbalist and, killed that one orc. And for some reason, nobody believes her that there were orcs and stuff, and she's the only one. And now she's like, everybody's asking her what to do. So, but we don't know why out of all these towns, there's no like town leaders or anything. It's just her, the herbalist that was like chilling there, is now the leader of all these towns. Why? I don't know. They don't do a good job of like building her up as a leader. They're just like, this woman over here is the leader now. There's no other leaders. There's no town leaders. There's no mayors or anything. Nobody brought food. Yeah, that's just so dumb. Of course people would have brought food. Some beef jerky, maybe, some whatever, grab some food on the way out. If they were all rushing from their towns to escape, I can understand that maybe they weren't able to grab food along and take it with them. But these guys were just like strolling. They were like, well, we better leave our town. And they were just like walking real slow. So they could have brought some food, but maybe, I could see how if you're like having to leave your town because there's a danger that you wouldn't be able to bring that much food. Ew, gross. So I guess he didn't listen to his mom and went to the town anyways. He's like, don't be such a soft belly, but they're walking by a couple of sheep that look like they got their necks slit by orcs. I don't know, I'd probably be a little worried too. Taverns have food, so it makes sense that he's like, oh, I should probably check the tavern. There's probably a lot of food in there. Run! The clouds covered the sun. When the sun goes away is when the orcs come out. So the orcs are like reverse werewolves. But really, I wonder what the like the deal with the sun is, because there's still sunlight, even though it's covered by clouds, it's just weaker. So I guess maybe it's just weak enough that they're more comfortable in the weaker sunlight coming through the clouds. Ew, he just stabbed it. Why is he stabbing himself with that? Whatever. Don't cut, kids, okay? All these orcs are coming out of nowhere. Like, they've been there this whole time, or what? This would be the worst place to go. Like, running out and just diving into this well. You'd be screwed if he saw you. Bro, he's under the water. Like, how dumb can you be? That was a loud splash. He heard the but then he didn't hear the of the water coming out. I can kind of forgive that, all right? It's a little bit. All right, what's they're building? These structures they're building. Okay, so yeah, wait. Yeah, they didn't show. He was at Khazad Doom. Last time we saw him talking to his friend Gimli. And then and now he's here. What? Did I miss something? I feel like I missed something here. He's all of a sudden back, and they're building. Oh, so the last thing that they said while he was at Khazad-dûm was like something to the effect of, "Okay, I'm willing to hear your proposal," or something. But then it just cuts to here, and they're building structures that look like would have taken probably months to create. But he said that they needed to build by spring. So I don't know when it is right now. Is it like winter right now? Is it fall? So what's the timeline here? I don't know what the timeline is. I don't know how long they've been building those buildings. It looks like it's been a long time because, but maybe they have like thousands of people building it. I don't know. They're all kind of being very vague with each other. Like, what was that guy, Celebrimbor? And he was like, Gimli over here. I don't remember his real name, Durin. He's like, he must be hiding something. So he's like implying to Elrond that Elrond should go and figure out what he's hiding. But why isn't he just being straightforward with what he's trying to achieve here? So he just walked around the corner again, like went back to the dwarf area. Diza's acting is good. I like her as a character. She's pretty cool. I like how jolly she is, you know. She's being deceptive right now, but I do like how she acts and talks. It's like this dramatic like mystery, and there she's like, when she turns around, she's like with her cape, like they're so secretive and like conspiracy. He was supposed to leave, but I guess because he was supposed to be kicked out because he lost that. See, there's the pattern again. He's wearing the pattern too, which is like all swirly. Elves wear it, dwarves wear it. Orc elves wear it. How did he know how to open it? I guess this was the song the kids were singing. I don't remember exactly, but that's what I've heard other people say. They were singing a song, and I guess this was the song. So either it was the pounding or it was the singing that opened it up. But yeah, it's pretty stupid that the kids would know this song to the super secret thing that nobody's supposed to know about. It's like extremely secret, but kids are running around singing the song to get in. That's pretty dumb. But I guess there had to be a way in the script for Elrond to figure it out. And they were like, well, what if the kids were singing the song of the code to get into the super secret area? Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. Okay. It probably would have been better if he was just like out there chilling on the outside, and like he saw somebody walking in this direction with his elf eyes. That would have made a little more sense. But I guess the kids have the secret passcode, and they just sing it no matter where they go. There's good stuff in this episode between the stupid stuff. It's like a mix of like pretty good scenery and some good acting and interesting things going on. And then there's like really dumb things like kids singing the secret passcode to the super secret area, and stupid quotes and sayings that people do, and like plot lines that we're not sure what's going on, and timelines that we're not sure about. So he broke into here, and then Durin's like, I knew you were a spy. And Elrond's like, no, I care about you. And Durin's convinced, even though he broke into the secret area. Oh, you broke into the secret area, but you're here to rekindle our relationship. Okay, I believe you, even though you broke in here searching for something. All right, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. You're looking around, spying around, but I'm going to believe you. Sure.
What is the meaning of all?
But I can see how Elrond is like curious as to why he's hiding things from him. He's like, why are you hiding these? Why is your wife lying to me? Tell me what's going on here. So, that makes sense. I'm kind of back and forth here with this dynamic. This is whatever the secret is, it's very important. He's like, doomed to elven kind to the end of time if you tell anyone what I'm about to tell you. All elves in existence ever will go to hell if you tell that we have Mithril. That was a pretty strong oath. Hopefully he doesn't tell anyone. But judging by what's happened in this show so far, he's going to tell someone, and it's not going to be a big deal. Things need to carry weight for them to be, like, important to the viewer. If you're going to do something, like have an oath or something, there's got to be weight behind it. Wow. So it's lighter than silk and harder than iron. So is it titanium? He said as weaponry, it would best our best blades. Best our best blades. Hopefully it's not brittle, though, because if something's hard, typically it's more brittle. Right, but I guess they could, what do you call it? They could mix alloys, or they could mix metals and create an alloy. I'm thinking about this too much. Dearer than gold? Is that what he said? Dearer than gold. They wear gold like nothing because they have like so much of it. It's not that rare. So why would? Of course, this would be dear. Gold is like nothing to them. He was like, why all the secrecy? And he was like, well, because it's perilous to mine and. My father has restricted our ability to mine. But so, why would that matter? Why does that determine that it should be so secret? Such a dumb attempt to like figure out what the name is. Hey, in our tongue, it is something like Mithraudu, Mitharudi, Mithrul. No, Mith. Real. He's lying. He said he came because 20 years is too long to stay away. But he really came with the other guy, blah, 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 to talk to these guys to build a bigger forge. So they keep going back and forth with this idea. And so Durin's like, you really did come to do this. And he's like, no, I came for the friendship. But they've just like, they've established multiple times why he's come. And like, they're still going back and forth on it. Like, we already know. I don't know. I think I'd still be suspicious of him. Like, I wouldn't have given it to him so freely. That would be dumb to give him a piece of this extremely important metal that nobody should have. And if you tell anyone that, then elves will forever be doomed or whatever the oath was that he just yeah, it's kind of dumb. Like, don't give it to him just because he's your friend. But that's very irresponsible, So I don't see why he would do that. I mean, I don't see Durin, someone like I guess he's a king or a prince or the next king. That would be a pretty dumb decision, even though you have a friend. You keep things that are that important from your friends even. But they're trying to say and establish that, they have a really strong, they're rebuilding trust. And so he's like, okay, I'm going to trust you with this very important thing because I believe you and all this stuff. So I guess, I don't know, it's just really dangerous to mine for some reason. Why would it be more dangerous than other? Is it maybe like an area of the underground that's more unsteady? Oh, nice makeup. Wow, look at that smoky eye. They really know. Back in the day, in the Middle Earth times, they knew how to do that smoky eye. What is that, Two-Face? MAC Cosmetics? He looks like he's wearing a curtain. It's a little bit nicer than my curtains. Her drawing was like expert level, and she's like going to school right now. Oh, he's got a little game. He's hitting on her, and like he's got some game going. She was like, I'm not in the habit of going off with strange young men. He's like, if he sees anyone, I'll let you know. It's not bad. It's not bad. This episode it feels like this episode's better than the previous ones. It's not as boring. So far, no hobbits, no Harfoots. There's still some silly things going on, and I think we're about to see like the silliest part of this episode. So, I mean, there's not like a lot of action-y stuff going on. It's just like revealing different things, but but it's holding my interest a little more. He was saying something about like, I don't know, war or something, and she was like, "Are you about to advise me in the art of war?" And I'm like, I still don't believe that she's like some great warrior leader person. They haven't shown it. Not really. Commander of the Northern Armies. She doesn't act like a good commander. I've seen a lot of movies. She doesn't feel like a war leader to me. She's just always ridiculous. If she was a good war leader, he was like, Queen's Court, the court isn't your battlefield, is it? But if you're a good leader, you would have some skill with like communication, right? And she's like really bad at communication. So you would be pretty good if you were a leader. I mean, a big part of that is being able to communicate, being a leader, no matter what you're a leader of. War, battles, leader of armies. You got to have really good, at least good communication skills. He's trying to explain. She's like so vapid. She, for whatever reason, she does not understand how much of an asshole she is. And he's like, what? You provoked her anger. Why? And she like has no clue. She can't think of it's because she was like talking to her, like down to her, and she's being an asshole and she doesn't see it for some reason. I don't know why. I like this guy. He's comparing her to a horse. He's not taking her shit. He's like acting like an actual adult. And she acts like a 12-year-old. I was gonna say teenager, but like, yeah, like a 12-year-old. They were gonna ship her back to the elves tonight. What elves? The ones on Middle Earth? Isn't that where she wants to go?
We could.
Why is she so physically strong? Like, are elves like this physically strong shit that like all those men should have been able to overpower her quite easily? They need to explain these things. Explain to me why she's so physically strong. Just because she's an elf, what makes elves so physically strong? They shouldn't be that strong. I know that they're light, but I don't remember ever hearing that they're like as strong as 10 men. Like, they need to explain that in the show then. Be like, elves are not only light on their feet, but are strong as 10 men and can push 4 men into a cell quite easily. No, she's just like super good. I'm fine with someone being super good, but you gotta give me a good reason why. Is this gonna be a love triangle now? Oh wait, no, they're brother and sister.
What are you doing?
Step bro. Oh, so she did go to the dinner. They didn't show it, but she went to the dinner. I still don't know why she's like, well, now you've won, you can go west. Why is he trying to go west? What's over there? What is west? Did they ever explain that? Did I miss it? Galadriel's stupid. She's like she's like from Marvel. She got superpowers. Not even Elendil. Is that his name? The other elf guy. He's not even as good as Galadriel. They're just like assume that we're supposed to know why she's so strong. Like, we knew her from the Lord of the Rings book, or yeah, well, books and movies. I only remember her from the movies, and I just remember she's like super powerful magically. But they're like translating that here for her to be like super powerful physically, or her magic enhances her physical abilities. But I'm left guessing. She's like 5'3", and she's like busting through iron windows. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. But I am enjoying this episode partially because there's some things going on. It's you know, there's some things going on, and then there's just this silliness where whenever she's on screen, there's like silliness ensues. She was like, "How did you know she was there?" That's a good question, but I guess she escaped, and so they probably notified everyone. Was like, she escaped, and so she was like climbing that tower, and so yeah. I mean, it makes sense that she would like have a garrison there, whatever that means, of troops at the ready. Who's this Santa Claus guy? Why doesn't she call the troops in right now? Why are they standing outside? Why aren't there troops in there protecting? For all she knows, this elf woman is coming here to like... So this seeing stone showed her the same dream that Muriel had with the flooding? Is that all that Palantiri shows? Is that one like part where the water comes? Every time you touch it, it's like I don't get it. Why she supposedly just explained why they don't like elves, but I don't understand it. Still, she's like, I know how it is like to be the only one that sees and knows, and everybody else is complete idiots. But I am smart and knows everything, and I know how it's like. Whatever. It's starting to get a little boring now. I'm starting to yawn. Too much talking about things that I don't understand or that don't seem super important. See, and there was like no progress there. That's like the 4th or 5th time that Muriel denied her requests to like go and fight and stuff. How many hundreds of the people there? And he brought like one little cart. That'll feed a couple people for a little while. For a day. How long has he been down there for? There's even more out there. That was a bad idea. I should have just run really fast. Now there's like orcs everywhere. What's with everybody smelling in this show? Everybody's like good at smelling things, but only sometimes. He's standing right in front of him. He should be able to smell him, right? Ew. Wow, chopped his head off. Arendir has no facial expressions. This is his face this whole series. Nothing. Blank, stone, neutral. Give me that, give me that model face. Also, it's just real convenient that he's here at the exactly perfect time, you know? Don't make it so convenient looking. The slow-mo is weird here. It's not really appropriate. It's like they're just running away. But it's slow-mo, and then it's like music that's like, oh, it sounds like something that you would play if like someone was dying, like when Boromir was getting shot and was dying in slow-mo. But they're just running away. That catch would look kind of fake, you know. Like it would have jolted his hand back more, because arrows, they go pretty fast. But yeah, like there would be a better effect here if they had like them going at full speed and there was like more actiony music, because then I would be more like riled up. I'd be like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Like they should make this scene seem more perilous and like actiony and quicker paced versus the slow-mo that they're trying to go for with the music. It doesn't really match up. Like I want this to be like actiony, like fast paced, and like they're running after each other and the arrows are shooting fast. And where did she come from? Is this like there's like one path or something? Like there's only one little area. How did she find them? The music's too epic. Like listen, all they're doing is like walking in slow-mo, and then the music is like, the orchestrator guy is like doing this to the orchestra as they're playing. Like, oh, more! We need more! They're just literally running away. There's nothing dramatic about. So yeah, this would be a lot better. Speed this scene up, and give us like a more dum 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 kind of music. It would have been way better. This is why I love this show, is because of the silliness. Every time there's like some parts are good, and then there's like this really silly part, and that's just why I love the show. Like what? What? He turns around to like see if there's anyone coming, and why is he holding his sword upside down? What is the purpose of that? Is that some kind of a defensive stance? And why didn't they keep on running? Why? Where did she come from? How did she find them? Maybe she heard all the commotion. All right, I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she heard a bunch of commotion. Was like, oh, I'm gonna run toward this way to save my kid from all the orcs, and then they run out of the clearing, and then they stop, and are like, oh, we're gonna fight the orcs coming after us instead of continuing to run away. Why are they waiting for them to come? Don't wait for them to come. Don't wait. No, run, keep running. Would you stop if you were being chased by if a dog in real life was running after you, like a pretty large dog, would you, and you were running away from it in a forest and you ran out into the clearing, would you stop and be like, oh, I wonder if that pack of dogs is still, should I stop and like try to fight it? This is like the most overly dramatic scene, I think, probably of this whole entire show so far. unnecessarily. The music, listen. Oh, it's like it's like this woman. Like, bring out the I don't know, Indian chanter now. Oh! Bring out the opera singer. Oh my gosh, why? And they're shooting at them, they're shooting arrows at them. Why did they stop? Let's wait here until they come out. And then they're like, okay, they're out, great. Shooting arrows at us, that's exactly what I wanted to happen. I wanted them to potentially be able to attack us. Perfect. Now let's keep running. It feels like there's like two writers of this show. One of them is good, and the other one is like an apprentice from like that just started working 2 days ago. And the good one's like, okay, I'm gonna write these parts of the show, and then I want you to write this part right here, and then this part where they run out of the town, and then this part, and so the newbie is like, okay, I'm gonna do a good job, man. I'm gonna make this so dramatic and cool and fun and great, and it's like the most dramatic music, slow-mo. They're showing, I guess, that the rocks and the sand reacts to her voice. She's the one singing. Disa is. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, you know, sound when it hits things, it can resonate, like you know, glass, for example, sound waves. So, but that seems like a magical thing. Like, do dwarves have magic? I don't know, I guess maybe they do, or maybe she's just so loud. Maybe they're so good at singing that they can hit notes very specifically. I don't know. It's not super believable unless they have some sort of a magic to them. Like, are they bats? It's like one of the writers was like, okay, they went back to the writer that was like the migrating for the hobbits, an expert at animals, and like, okay, you wrote the part with the hobbits migrating. Now we need you to write another animal instead, one that deals with sound. I know, bats. So we're gonna make these dwarves like bats, and bats like use sound to determine where they're at. And so that's what dwarves are gonna be. Oh, perfect. Yes. So they use echolocation to find rocks in mithril. She looks a lot bigger here than she did before. Whatever she's wearing is not like good for her body type.
Alive.
Look, he's like so dirty. Oh, they lived. I don't get it. Why is his father or the king or whatever so against the mining just because it's so dangerous? And why is he so for mining it just because it's such a good metal? But why wouldn't the king like recognize that it's a very good metal? And what it's like, it's some kind of like, one of them's one way extremely and the other one's the other way extremely. One of them really wants the metal because he sees the potential, and the other one's like, it's too dangerous.
What I think of it.
Why is he so mad? Where'd that come from? Did they show he was so mad at him? He was so mad at him before? This is like the first time I'm realizing that he's mad at his king. I don't know what's going on here. Why he's like so upset, and does he not communicate with his father? Does he have a bad relationship with his father? I haven't even. We saw like one little clip with his father before, where they were looking inside the box. What's the relationship here? They haven't shown it. What's the relationship? I feel like there's like been so many times. There's been like a few times where I feel like I missed an episode where they explained all these, or they showed his relationship with his father, and there's like a couple other times when that happened to him. If they shot it, they should have edited it in. Like, whose fault is it? Was it the editors and well, I mean, obviously, ultimately, it's like the producers and all that were like, oh yeah, this is great. This is a great edit. Makes perfect sense. Yup. See, Elrond and Durin and Disa are some of the best characters in this show. They're more lighthearted. They're rekindling their friendship. Disa is a good, wife. Like, she's not. She doesn't. From what I've seen, she doesn't like belittle him or anything. Like he's a toxic man. Or she's like a good partner, being part of helping them mend their relationship. So these are like some of the best characters in the show, and some of the best parts, I think. And Elrond acts, the difference between the two characters, Elrond and Durin, is pretty strong. Elrond acts like a very mature elf. He feels like an elf, whereas Durin feels like this rough, dwarf that like digs in rocks and stuff. And it's good. It's good. I wish the rest of the show was more like this. That cut was weird. It was, they were walking away, and then all of a sudden he's here. It was like hard cut to him in this room. It feels like they probably cut out a lot of stuff, like they probably shot a lot more and was like, okay, this is way too long. We need to cut out some stuff. So they probably had more scenes. It's what it feels like they probably had more scenes with Durin and his father. And so there's King Durin and then there's Prince Durin. Yeah. And they probably were talking and stuff, and like they had a bad relationship. That's what it seems like. And they were like, this is way too long. Now we got to cut it down. So let's just have like 2 scenes of him looking in the mithril box, and then the next scene with him like rekindling the father and son relationship, which is this scene right here. But we didn't see any of the relationship being apart or breaking apart. We haven't seen anything. So maybe what they're gonna do is have like an extended edition, like the original movies from Peter Jackson, the extended edition, and there's like 3 more hours of each episode where we actually get to see things that are supposed to be going on here. There could be a whole show just with these dwarves. Like there should be. That's all it should be. Like, how in like the Marvel universe, like every character has an offshoot series or movie. This one should just be, instead of the Rings of Power, it should just be like the dwarves of the Second Age, because this is a good time here with these dwarves. He's all like, oh, I'm with you even in anger. Well, I feel like I missed the clips where he was angry at him. One of the main problems here is they probably shot a whole lot more, I'm thinking. And then that's probably where the budget went for this show, to be honest with you. I think I just figured it out. The budget for this show went to shoot. They shot like 3 more hours worth of a movie, of a show, but they had to cut it down to 1 hour. And so they had like all these storylines that were expanded upon, but they had to be like, reduce it to 1 hour. And so they cut everything out. And now we don't know what's going on. And that's where the budget went. I feel like the cut here was weird. It was like they shot this part and then they shot the other part, and they kind of try to combine them. Because now he was like being like emotional with his father. And now this feels like the same scene from the beginning where he was walking in, the king was sitting down. They did a good job with their noses, They look very real. So now he's going to go with Elrond, and these guys seem actually competent. Like they're like the most competent people in this show. They're like, oh, there's something else going on here, so we should go and figure it out. Weren't they already building the towers? Who's building the towers then? I thought they were going to get the help from the dwarves to build the towers. So aren't the dwarves over there building the towers? And I swear, this guy has not made a different face in this whole series so far. We're only episode 4, but even Galadriel like has smiled or smirked. Anyways, she smiled. Yeah, she smiled. She smirked at least a couple times. Otherwise, she's been pretty stone faced. But even then, her stone face is like does make different like faces. Like she twitches. She's like conflicted. This guy has made not one single other face. Like, there's some characters in the show that are just like always perpetually mad or upset at something. Like, like that's his face this whole show. Yeah, where does he get his hair cut? That is definitely a question. Make it look more real. Should have an afro. That would be cool. Are they? Look at this. Is this some kind of like drug reference thing? Like, stop doing meth or what? So I guess this hilt is like an addiction, and it causes you to want to stab yourself in the arm. You make something. It's supposed to be akin to the ring in the Lord of the Rings, where it's like causes you to do things that you don't want to. Causes you to, I don't know, takes over you. He knows a lot about Sauron or Morgoth. So he's saying like that sword that he has, the hilt thing, the broken thing, is from like Sauron or Morgoth or whatever. He created it himself. Well, why does the kid have it? Why does he have it? And if it's so important, why is he like not trying to get it back? So now he's insinuating that he was like, did you see it in the sky, the starfall? So they're trying to be like, who's Sauron? Is he Sauron? Is Gandalf Sauron? Is somebody else Sauron? Who's Sauron? Maybe I'm Sauron. This guy, I would believe he's Sauron more than probably anyone else. That CGI warg is not very good CGI. Again with the dramatic music. She's just leaving. So much effort to make scenes feel so powerful. Like, she's just rowing away on a boat, and it's like, like a little drawn out scene of it. So like this whole episode, it's almost over, was like, like just a back and forth of like, you're staying, no, I'm leaving, no, you're leaving, no, I'm staying, no. And then finally she leaves. More contrivances. They mentioned earlier something about leaves falling or petals falling off a tree. I think that's supposed to symbolize something. Pretty sure he's wearing eyeliner. Yeah, look at his eyes. He's got to be wearing eyeliner. Look at that. I don't know. A little suspicious. How big is this city? Because they only have like 30 people in this hallway. Is she just talking to specifically certain people in like the, the palace or whatever? All right, so like I didn't understand. I still don't understand why the Numenorians don't like the elves. It explains it a little bit here. This king, so like they were resistant to the elves. They were doing other things. I don't know, and then he tried to bring them back. But there was strife and rebellion, but I still don't quite understand it. Like, look at how big this city is, and is she addressing all the people? Because there's like 20 people in that hall. She didn't leave after all. Okay, so she just said her brother. There's people besieged in the Southlands, so they somehow received word. How did they receive word? How do they know? Aren't the Southlands like across the whole entire ocean? How do they have like pigeons? do they have doves that go back and forth? Have they explained that? I feel like I missed something again. Like, how they figured that out? Was it the Palantiri thing? The ball? Was she able to see in it? I thought that just showed her the dream of the ocean destroying their island. I don't. Okay, so they know somehow, I don't know how, that there's people being besieged in the Southlands. She said they're brethren, so like, are they tied to them somehow? They're not Numenorians, they're just Southland people, so why would they care about them? Hold on, I'm gonna go back and hear what she said. She said they're gonna go to aid their mortal brethren. Did she say mortal? They're mortal too. Oh, yeah, our mortal brethren who are besieged in the Southlands. Yeah, how do they know that? Why are they asking for volunteers? Do they not have an army already? Or a navy or whatever? Or maybe they don't. Maybe they're not a warring people. Except that, I don't know, they look like they have like armor and stuff and they're wearing it all the time. So I don't know. Maybe they're not a warring nation, and so they don't have too much in terms of like a standing army. So they have to ask for volunteers. But we find out later they're only sending like a few hundred people. So surely there's a few hundred people. And he was like, we're sending out. We need to find people from all across our lands to go. But they only sent a few hundred, so there's got to be a good explanation for this. Right? They should just, like, they have the ability to command people to go, right? Why do they need to, is this how they do things? Ask for volunteers? That no one would do it then, would they? Who would voluntarily go to war? Why does everyone want to serve? Why does everybody want to go and fight? For what? Why? Why? Do they know these people? These are like not landlocked. These are like people in Numenor, which is an island in the middle of the ocean. And how do they know the people in the Southlands? Do they know them? And why are they so willing to be like, oh, these people thousands of miles away, I will go and I want to help them. We don't have a standing army. We work off of volunteerism. Okay, so I guess they're like in different parts trying to find people to serve, I guess. So like there's multiple people going around. Like, all right. So it's not just like this little group of people, I guess. And like all these, everybody wants to go and die. Nobody would really want to go and fight in an army, because there's a high chance of like death, you know, especially when they know it's like orcs. But all these people, like, and come on, let's face it, women are going to be even less inclined to go fight. All right, let's just be real. But I guess these people are like, so they just love fighting, I guess. Look at this old woman over here wants to go and fight too. This old woman, that's a grandma. Don't go and fight. Yeah, what are you going to do? Look, I appreciate that you want to go and fight, but you really shouldn't when you're 75 years old. That's ridiculous. Okay. That's just absolutely ridiculous. No. Oh, it ended on a high note, meaning they were high when they wrote it. Oh my gosh. No. This is why I love this show. This was the best episode so far because there was some good parts. There was like a fair chunk of this episode was pretty good, despite the little bit of pretty goodness and then extremely silly thing and then pretty good stuff and then like the old grandma is volunteering to go and fight against orcs that are multiple times stronger and look nasty and come from the underground and are like vicious and will torture you and kidnap you and then torture you for days and then kill you. But I, 75-year-old woman, want to go and fight for some reason for these people that they don't even know in a far off land thousands of miles away, who somehow they know that they're being besieged. What? None of that makes any sense. Tell me why. Tell me why. How do they know these things? How? Oh my gosh. If I wasn't so amused by all this, I'd be extremely frustrated. Oh, this show has major problems. Well, yeah. I already said what I needed to say about what I think about. But so, yeah, this episode, again, I'm enjoying the ridiculousness of this show, but I just wish it was good, you know. Yeah, but there were like the dwarves were good. Like I wish like there should just be a story about the dwarves, you know. I wish it was just a show about Elendil, Durin, Disa, and who else is good? That guy, the Numenorian guy, the one with the long hair and stuff. He's good. Have him in it. Yeah, there's not many more characters that really stand out as being very good. This show is weird. It's all over the place. Everything is weird about this show. Like everything, it runs the gamut. From the editing is just odd, and the way they cut it is like they didn't put enough in the show for us to understand what's going on, to this storyline and what people say. But this one, it seems like there wasn't actually. It's like they've gotten better at not saying ridiculous things. I've stopped after episode 2. I stopped writing down the ridiculous phrases and catchphrases and things that they said, because there wasn't anything, or maybe there were a couple small things, but that was it. So that's good. Maybe they're getting better at what people are saying, but I don't know, man. It's such a weird show. Well, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and I had a good time doing this. The show is over. That whole ending part right there, just dumb, silly. That's the only, that's the best word to describe this show. It's absolutely silly. So please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on episode 6. This is 5, 4? See you in episode 5. All right. Let's go help these people that we don't even, who are they? I don't know. Let's go. I'll volunteer.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw. Give me the meat and give it to me raw. Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women.
Oh my. Oh my.
Sex with men.
Oh my. Oh my.
Sex with men.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw. Give me the meat.
Sex with men.